Let's jump right into a truly fascinating case study drawn directly from a story called The Ladder of Sentience. Today's explainer is all about unpacking the incredibly complex, and often totally invisible, dynamic between how a parent and a child view the exact same world. It's a story about, well, a simple household object, but it opens up this massive window into the psychology of childhood perception versus adult pragmatism. Get ready, because we're going to look closely at how logic and emotion literally collide in the most ordinary of circumstances. Okay, let's dive into this. Can a ladder feel exploited? Now, to an adult, this question sounds almost absurd, right? A ladder is just an inanimate object. But I want you to completely shift your perspective for a minute. Step directly into the mind of a 6-year-old boy named Vijay. Because to a child, the world isn't just this collection of lifeless tools. It's an interconnected ecosystem where absolutely everything has a role, a purpose, and maybe, just maybe, feelings. So, to understand how a ladder could possibly feel exploited, we really need a bit of context. We're dropping in on a military family right at the tail end of a very busy transition. Papa has recently been promoted to colonel, which means the family gets to move into a new bungalow. And we all know moving is chaotic. It involves a ton of organizing, fixing, settling down, the whole shebang. And right as this dusty, exhausting process is finally coming to an end, a seemingly mundane organizing task brings our two main characters, Vijay and his mama, into this surprising philosophical debate.
Section 1. The Attic and the Ladder. A mundane chore.
It all starts when Mama decides to put the household ladder away in the basement attic. It's a chore so basic you probably do something like it every week without even thinking twice. But to 6-year-old Vijay, this is a massive demotion. See, during the move, this ladder wasn't just some tool. It was the star of the show. It was in incredibly high demand. The plumber needed it, the electrician needed it, the carpenter needed it, even Mama needed it. Literally everyone relied on this ladder. To Vijay's mind, the ladder had real status. It was important. And he genuinely believes that taking it from the center of the action and hiding it in a dark basement attic is going to make it feel really bad.
I actually want to let Vijay speak for himself here. He asks, can't it be kept in a handy place? That way it will not feel exploited. Just pause and appreciate the profound empathy in that statement for a second. He isn't throwing a tantrum, he is actively advocating for the dignity of a household item. He's personifying this simple metal or wooden tool, genuinely worried that it'll feel used and tossed aside, or, to use his exact word, exploited.
Section 2. A child's emotional logic. Empathy over biology.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is you might be tempted to dismiss Vijay's concern by thinking, he just watches too many cartoons. But listen to how he responds when Mama accuses him of exactly that. He says, completely matter-of-factly, "No, Mama, I know ladder is non-living." He isn't confused about reality. He knows the ladder doesn't breathe or eat. Yet despite this conscious, completely logical knowledge, he still actively advocates for its feelings. He's applying this incredibly complex layer of emotional logic to an inanimate object, choosing empathy over biology.
Section 3. The Pragmatic Parent. Adult Worldview.
In stark contrast to Vijay, Mama represents the utilitarian perspective that most of us adopt as adults. For her, the attic is simply a place for things you don't need daily. The ladder is just a tool. It doesn't have feelings, and putting it away makes logical, spatial sense. But for Vijay, the ladder was valued. It helped everyone, and suddenly banishing it means it's going to feel bad. The friction here isn't about where the ladder physically goes. It's this profound collision of how a parent and a child define value.
Section 4. The driving lesson analogy. A brilliant pivot.
So when Mama tries to shut down Vijay's argument with cold, hard logic, Vijay brilliantly pivots using a past event. Because Papa is frequently away on border duty, Mama had to take on basically everything, managing household work, picking Vijay up from school, her office commute, and during one of her driving lessons, with Vijay sitting right there in the back seat, she drove over a speed bump a bit too fast. The car violently jolted.
So the crucial point is, that single rough jolt gave Vijay the ultimate piece of evidence. Remember what the professional driving trainer told Mama after that bump? If you take care of your car will take care of you. Please drive so that you are always comfortable, and then the car will be happy too. The trainer, a grown adult, a professional, literally told Mama to make the car happy. To a 6-year-old's ears, this perfectly validated his belief. If an adult expert says a car can be happy if you treat it well, then obviously a ladder can feel exploited if you don't. No way around it.
Mama, of course, tries to defend herself by reverting back to logic.
She argues that she does the mechanical servicing regularly, changing the oil, checking the tires. But Vijay instantly dismantles this defense with pure emotion. She drives roughly. The car keeps getting hurt. Just taking it to a mechanic for servicing isn't enough. She needs to actually care for it. He perfectly distinguishes between cold mechanical maintenance and genuine emotional care.
Section 5. Emotion versus logic. The Epiphany.
And this brilliantly illustrates the aftermath of their debate. Let's really look at it. To the adult, an object is a utilitarian tool. To the child, it's a valued contributor. The adult believes in mechanical servicing, checking boxes, fixing parts. The child believes in emotional care, treating the object with actual respect. The adult processes the scenario through pure logic, while the child uses deep empathy. They're standing in the exact same hallway, looking at the exact same ladder, but they are living in completely different psychological worlds.
And then, Marma stopped responding. Let's just sit with that quiet realization for a second. It's that profound moment of parental reflection where logic completely fails to win the argument. She just couldn't out-argue him because his emotional logic was entirely internally consistent.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful question, derived directly from Mama's own internal monologue at the end of the story. Why do children process the world through emotion, while adults default to logic? When exactly do we lose that sense of universal empathy? And why do we trade it in for cold utility? It's definitely something to think about the next time you put away a tool or drive over a speed bump. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.